Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as it's Wednesday and we're here to talk about AEW Dynamite. I apologize for not doing a Monday Night Raw review. If you guys saw the wrestling wrap up Monday morning, you probably noticed that I was losing my voice, and by the time Raw was over, well, my voice was not 100% gone, but it hurt to talk. Like, my throat was wrecked. Sick for a day or so, but I'm better now. Still got a cough, which I've always had, that never goes away, but sore throat gone and all that, so we're good. I'm good. We have a interesting Dynamite to talk about. Started off with a really good match, ended with a really good match, had a good match kind of in the middle, and then some meh things. So as far as my thoughts on the show, I thought it was a tale of two shows. There was a lot of good, but for me, there was a lot of I don't care. Luke, what's going on, and what did you think of tonight's Dynamite? Luke, what's up? Uh-oh. Have we lost Luke or something? He's trying to talk. Was I muted for you? Hold on, I don't hear you at all. Uh-oh, technical difficulties. We were fine literally a minute and a half ago, 2 minutes ago. All right, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to disconnect from the Discord call and reconnect with Luke. Reconnect. See if this works. Literally, we were good like a minute ago. Uh-oh, what happened? Where is Luke? Did he disconnect as well? I didn't want for him to disconnect. All right, let me try something. Let's disconnect. Do the call. Uh-oh, whoa. My Discord just wigged the fuck out. My Discord just restarted itself. What the hell? All right, we got Luke back. I don't know if he can hear me. His video is loading up. Let's see what happens. Can you hear me? We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I don't know what happened there. We were fine, and then it all went to hell. But as far as tonight's show, what did you think of Dynamite?
Weird stuff going on. But I just thought it was just a pretty inconsistent Dynamite
Yeah,
sense.
that's kind of like what I said. I don't know if you heard what I said because I might have been muted for you by accident. But I basically said it was like a lot of good stuff and then a lot of I didn't care at all stuff. It was kind of just like, and I guess that really goes into what you said as far as the show feeling inconsistent. But with that, before we get going, I got to say thank you if you are watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, or if you're watching or listening later, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can be like Cold Cuts KC recently did and subscribe with a tier 1 subscription, or you can be like this guy, Luke Pedkey, and subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime or access to anybody's Amazon Prime account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, anybody, then you can get Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and that always gives you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well by becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, try not to sneeze, and so much more, just like all of our graphics packages. I don't know if you guys have seen any of our Royal Rumble 2023 videos yet, but we got new graphics for that. And we're going to teach you some pretty cool things as far as the background does go with those graphics, and maybe some other cool tricks like 3D work. Maybe I'll throw some 3D stuff in there since I did 3D in those graphics. But also remember, you can get all of that by heading over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming one of the free games or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rumbleverse, use our code right down here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be directly supporting us at no extra cost. Again, whether you're getting one of the new games, whether you're claiming one of the free games, or you're just getting stuff for some of the games you already play. Use code PWU and LIMITED at checkout for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But as far as Dynamite does go, show itself kicked off with Jon Moxley against Adam Hangman Page. Or is it, they say it differently sometimes. Sometimes they'll say Hangman Adam Page, but then sometimes they'll say Adam Hangman Page. And then a lot of times it's just Hangman or Hangman Page, but whatever.
I don't think it really matters, though.
No, it really doesn't. But this match, I loved this match. I thought this match was so good, a great opener, and then a weird angle at the end where they basically wanted us to think that, now the roles are reversed, and Hangman gave Moxley a concussion. But Excalibur did point out before the match started that it's been 85 days since Page is having a match. The match started off as, well, a slugfest. These two just throwing hands. The referee had to pull the two apart, and he pulled Page off of Moxley, who tried to go for a lariat, and Page got countered, and he missed the lariat before getting a forearm to the face by Moxley. Moxley set up Page in the corner and raked the back with his hands and his teeth. Didn't expect that one, his teeth. Moxley couldn't get an armbar on, so he hit a series of released German suplexes instead. Moxley again went for a lariat, but Page turned it into an exploder suplex. Page locked on the looked to go for the buckshot, and Moxley sent him crashing into the guardrail. Page then hit a comeback lariat on the floor, but Moxley turned Page inside out with a lariat in the ring for a 2. Moxley then controlled the action through the commercial break, as we saw the picture-in-picture stuff, but Page did battle back, hit a back suplex and a lariat to kind of like reset things as we came back from the break. Back from the break, both men were slow to get to their feet, and they started trading forearms before Page hit a fall-away slam, a kip-up, and then Moxley tried for the German, but Page landed on his feet and leveled Mox with a lariat. Moxley rolled outside, and Page hit a big, and I mean bigger than normal moonsault off the top rope to the floor, smacking his back on the guardrail. He seemed fine, though. There was a buckshot that was missed in the ring, and Moxley kind of transitioned that into a Death Rider, but Page did kick out at 2. There were some anvil elbows from Moxley, and then a bulldog choke into a standing pile driver. Page kicked out a 1 off of that one. Crowd was firmly behind Hangman here, and so Moxley, flipped the crowd off. He sank in a sleeper hold, looked for another pile driver, and Page countered it with a deadeye, which Moxley basically no-sold into a curb stomp and then fell over. Basically, he collapsed. There was some more forearms and headbutts and palm strikes and slaps and all kinds of stuff until Page hit a lariat and a buckshot to put away Moxley and pick up the victory. Then, after the match, Moxley, you don't really see it, but they kind of gave us a little play-by-play here where Moxley stood up and then fell down, knocking over the referee. Doctor gets in the ring to check on him, and we're supposed to think that maybe he's got a concussion. After the commercial break, Excalibur and Taz then come back, and they're like, "Oh, we just wanted to inform you and let you guys know that the doctor actually had to assist Jon Moxley to the back. We don't want to make any assumptions on what we think could have happened, but we hope Moxley's okay as he's being checked on by medical." And unless I missed anything, I didn't hear them say any sort of an update on Moxley past the commercial after the match. Did they or no?
No.
But what did you think of the match?
It was a great opener. Good way to get the fans all hyped throughout the rest of the show. I mean, where they're trying to go the route of like first Fox gave Hangman concussion, now Hangman gave the concussion. Like, really?
Yeah, and the weird thing is though, they're playing off reality because Hangman's concussion was real. Mox's is not real. What I believe is maybe Mox is finally getting that time off that he was supposed to get last summer. Maybe that's what this all is.
Honestly, I can see them doing one more match at Revolution. Maybe they give Mox a little bit of time off, and then they go back to like 3 weeks before Revolution and say, "Hey, let's settle this at Revolution."
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dynamites before Revolution. I could see that. They're 1-1 in the trilogy at the pay-per-view.
Get Moxley's time off.
Yeah. Because I think he was supposed to take like 6 weeks before anyways.
Yeah.
So they give the little update on Jon Moxley needing help to the back, and then Excalibur sends it to Tony Schiavone in the ring, where Tony Schiavone says, "I would like to introduce my next guest," and then we hear, "It's all about the boom," and out comes Adam Cole to a, not just in this room, but in that building as well, huge ovation. I lost my shit when I saw Adam Cole. When his music hit, I was like, no frick away. Don't be teasing us. And then he came out, and I was like, oh man, because I'll say it right now. Out of all current pro wrestlers, my 3 favorite are Bryan Danielson, Kevin Owens, and Adam Cole. And it's been that for some time. So seeing Adam Cole back was awesome. And he tried to swerve us a little, make us think that he had bad news, but he didn't. He actually had really, really good news. So this place was going absolutely bonkers for Adam Cole. Cole introduces everybody to story time with Adam Cole, baby. Cole said that he has good news and bad news. He said he's always wanted to be a pro wrestler, and now he gets to do it in AEW, the best company in the world. Excuse me. He said that being injured made him realize how much he misses all of this. And all with the shoulder and the head injuries and everything, he learned that it's not just about wrestling, but it's about his life as well and his livelihood. He said he went through the troubles over the last however many months. I think it was 6 months or so. And said that he can't thank the fans enough for all their support. He even mentioned fans that would say, I can't wait till Adam Cole is back. But then there was other fans that said, I don't care if Adam Cole ever returns. I just want him to be healthy. He said that all of that really stuck with him, and he couldn't thank the fans anymore. Cole then says, but I did tell you I have some bad news. And the way he said it with the smirk on his face, I knew exactly where he was going. He couldn't hide the smile. He goes, it ain't bad news for me. It's bad news for the AEW locker room because Adam Cole is back, and I'm not going anywhere. Cole said that he isn't done, and he won't stop until he's at the top and the very best in this industry. He said he hasn't even scratched the surface of what he can do in All Elite Wrestling. He said today, a new Adam Cole was born. One day, he'll be on the top of this mountain. I thought this was awesome. This was great. And this was the Adam Cole that I know we love. Because I don't know exactly what was going on, but before the concussion and before Forbidden Door and everything, I felt like Adam Cole was phoning, and maybe this isn't the right word to use, phoning it in a little bit and kind of just there. Maybe it was that he was dealing with a shoulder injury and he wasn't really feeling 100% and this and that. And then he got the concussion. We haven't seen him since. So I'm glad that we got this Adam Cole. I wonder what kind of Adam Cole we're going to get because he came off absolute babyface. So I don't know if he's going to go back to being a heel. Right now, unless he rejoins the Elite, he's by himself. Bobby Fish is gone. And Kyle O'Reilly is out for an undisclosed amount of time because he's dealing with complications from a surgery. So, I'm interested to see what they do with Adam Cole because there's options, but not as many as you would think. What did you think of the promo and Adam Cole being back and stuff?
I like the promo, and yeah, like Adam Cole, he's one of my favorite wrestlers. Like my three like current favorite wrestlers are Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Karrion Cross. Yeah, Adam Cole, like he really big baby face, but yeah, like it's gonna be like very like questionable, like what he does next. Honestly, you can't really put him in the elite because he had bucks in his last appearance.
True.
How you can really just like put him back? I mean, one thing I can think of, maybe he can do like a rivalry match with like Kenny Omega, where like Adam Cole's the baby face and Kenny's like, you have nobody else, like you're alone against
Right.
us three. Fun.
Is there any way you could turn your mic up a little bit? People are saying you're not loud enough. But I know that at one point they wanted to do the elite against the undisputed elite, but now there really isn't an undisputed elite. So yeah.
Like, can you hear me now? Is it good?
Can you go a little bit more?
I mean, I could try scooting it up a little bit.
That works. So, I mean, he didn't really say what his goal was other than to be at the top of the mountain. So, I mean, eventually, I guess he's going to challenge for the world title again. But as far as what he does now, I guess it's just rebuilding him and getting him some wins. So, we'll probably just see for the next couple of weeks or however many, I don't know. Because he's been gone so long, it's hard to predict what they would even do with him and who he can feud with. But I can just see him in just random matches on Dynamite and Rampage just to pick up some wins.
One thing that I hope they don't do with him is just like pair some random two guys with him just to
Yeah,
make it seem like got someone with him, even though like Kyle O'Reilly's injured and we no longer have Bobby Fish.
right.
I fear that honestly that kind of like hurt him a lot.
I think so too. So then we go to the back with the Acclaimed. There's the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. They said that they'll be on Rampage and that they're receiving they're all receiving stars on the Walk of Fame. They'll be joined by greats like Roseanne Barr, Alec Baldwin, Donald Trump, and Johnny Depp. And I'm like, well, this is kind of weird. And then they just kind of cut it. I have no clue what this is. They're going to be on Rampage to do something. I don't know. It's whatever. Then for me, this is one of the dips. This is where the dip started. Jungle Hook against the Firm. It was all right. But for some reason, most of this match, or at least a good majority, was during the commercial, which was kind of weird. Moriarty and go for it.
It's just one of those matches. Just if just like kill some time.
Yeah. But the big question though is, does Hook and Jungle Boy remain a team? Because Jungle Boy did just come out of being in a tag team, so I kind of want to see him be more on his own and build him up for like the TNT title or something.
I was kind of hoping for like after him and Luchasaurus are like no longer a team.
Right.
Like I was kind of hoping like, all right, they're gonna focus more on Jungle Boy being a singles guy, like this big baby face that could eventually win the TNT title.
Right. So Moriarty and Perry started off the match and they traded some chops early on until Jungle Boy hit a springboard arm drag into a drop kick. Hook quickly took Moriarty down in a short arm scissor as Moriarty suffered double team offense. Perry tried a dive through, Perry tried to dive through the ropes onto Big Bill, who caught him and tried another apron choke slam as Hook stopped it from happening. Big Bill and Moriarty controlled Perry during the entire picture-in-picture break. Like I said, most of this match took place during the break. We even saw them trash-talking Ken Jeong at ringside. Perry at one point power bombed out of a submission and made it to the hot tag of Hook, who threw Moriarty all over the place until Big Bill stepped in. Hook showed no fear, and after a few attempts, T-Bone suplexed the big man. Moriarty and Perry went at it as Hook took out Big Bill on the outside with a dive, while Perry got the snare trap on Moriarty to pick up the victory. So they're calling him Jungle Hook picks up the win. I mean, the suplex of Hook Hook suplex on Big Bill was impressive looking because of the height disparity and stuff. But other than that, it was just a match. It was just there, and it, like you said, felt like time filler.
I'm not even calling this guy like W Morrissey anymore. It's just like straight up Big Bill.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
if you look at the graphics and everything, it's Big Bill. I wonder if
Jungle Hook, like I'm kind of hoping they don't put them as a tag team, because it's just seemed like one of those like random tag teams. Just gonna like combine the names like Warjo, like that meant nothing.
right.
Like Glory was, oh, it'll probably just be one of these like random tag teams that Tony Khan thinks will like sound cool.
Yeah. So interestingly, because I was looking to see if they like changed Morrissey's name on the website and everything. I don't even see him listed on the AEW roster page.
He signed.
I know, which is weird. Because if you look under B, there's no Big Bill. And if you go to the bottom, W, we got W's, Wardlow and Wheeler Yuta. That's it. No W Morrissey, no Big Bill. That's weird. He's not even listed on the roster page.
I feel like they only do that for like people who are signed with the company.
But isn't he? I thought he was signed.
They post he's all elite.
Maybe not then. I mean, he's around every single week, so I don't know. So next up, we go backstage to Renee Paquette. She's with Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, and Paul Walter Hauser. Now, if you don't know Paul Walter Hauser, an amazing actor. He won a Golden Globe Award last night, and he's a massive AEW fan. Like, to the point where he did a movie. I've seen this movie twice, and I can't remember the name all of a sudden. But it's with Kristen Bell, where it's a real life story about these two women who are scamming people with coupons. Well, Paul Walter Hauser is like the main, he's one of the main, he's like one of the four main characters in this movie. And he ended up getting 2 AEW references put into this movie. And then also, if you've watched him on last season's Cobra Kai, there was a whole scene of him getting out of his car and walking into his apartment, singing and jamming out to Judas. But Paul Walter Hauser, huge AEW fan. He was there tonight. Renee asked, can we see the Golden Globe? And he's like, Renee, can I save it till Rampage? And she's like, sure, I guess. And so Hauser then asked Cassidy if, hey, things cool with you and best friends after, you and Chuck went at it, and then best friends would walk up. Danhausen would get confused and call him Paul Walter Hausen, and he's like, no, you're Hausen, I'm Hauser. Hausen. And then the best friends did the whole little hand thing, and he's like, can I do it? So he did it, Renee did it, and they all, woo. It was a cute little segment. Nothing to it. Although, we're going to get Paul Walter Hauser. Go for it.
Stingray.
Stingray.
And he's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a great actor. I mean, some of the other things he's been in. Of course, most people right now know him from Cobra Kai. But he was also, I don't know if you've heard of the movie Richard Jewell, another true story he was in. He was in I, Tonya. He was in, it's Queen Pins is the one about the coupon ladies. He was in Disney's Cruella. He was in Black Klansman. So he's been in a lot of big movies, and he won a Golden Globe last night for Best Supporting Actor.
Yes, I do watch Cobra Kai.
Oh, I watch every episode. Like, Cobra Kai comes out, I just binge the whole season right away.
The last season that came out, I finished that in like 4 days.
Oh, I watched it in like a day and a half. Magmalore says, I've never watched any of those. Well, you should watch, if you like serious movies, watch Richard Jewell. Watch I, Tonya. If you like funny movies, watch Queen Pins, because it's him, Vince Vaughn, Kristen Bell, and then I don't know who the other girl is. I've never seen her in anything else. And then if you like Disney stuff, he was really good in Cruella as one of Cruella's henchmen. Actually went and saw that in theaters. It was pretty good. We got Renee again. She's in the Elite, or she's trying to get to the Elite's locker room. She's like, I'm trying to speak with the Elite, but they're not answering their door. Also, we're getting a number 7 in the best of 7 tonight. Last time we saw one of those in this building was Pistons and the Lakers, 1988. We then go to the ring, and Konosuke Takeshita makes his way out. We think Danielson's about to come out, and then he's interrupted. Out comes MJF instead. He interrupts and mocks Takeshita. He says that he isn't a lick. He hasn't seen a lick of his matches, but has seen on the Reddits and Twitter and stuff that people seem to like this kid, even though his name is take a shitta. I didn't really find that too funny. Then he tells him, maybe you should take one tonight, but I also need you to win. Takeshita then told MJF, kiss my ass, and shoved MJF, who demanded that he leave the ring. Referee Aubrey Edwards would come out for some reason, followed with some instructions. So MJF just cut this weird long promo. He just kept on going and going and going. MJF said that people think he can't last 60 minutes with Danielson, so tells them to ask their mothers and shank girlfriends how long he can last. And I'm like, so this guy's just ripping off old Ric Flair jokes and Ric Flair lines. Like, I'm almost getting a little bored and tired of MJF. It's the same stick every week, and it ain't nothing new. He just thinks he's Ric Flair. He said, unlike Danielson, he's all about pinning shoulders on the mat and banging rats. Again, another Ric Flair line. MJF then calls out Ken Jeong at ringside and mentioned The Hangover and talked about his failed sitcom Dr. Ken that ended about 6 years ago. Then he did have a funny line here with Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr. was seen in the front row. He said he doesn't remember She's All That because he was born in 1996, and then said, but I do remember you playing second fiddle to a CGI dog, you Scooby-Dooby douchebag. I thought that was, it popped me. That line did pop me. And it also popped Freddie Prinze Jr. because he laughed as well. He's like, yeah, you're right. And he couldn't stop laughing. MJF then said that there won't be an Iron Man match. But before that, he got his tagline in, and then Danielson's music hit. Danielson then sprinted down to the ring. MJF kind of was like, whoo, which way am I going? Which way am I going? Which way am I going? Then jumped out of the ring and then bolted right up the ramp, running away from Danielson. What do you think of MJF's promo here?
Weird. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter kind of ripping on MJF because he said that he was saying a little bit of racist stuff.
Yeah, I didn't catch any of that. I don't know what the racist stuff that he said was.
He said, like, this is America. We speak English to Kesha.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that line then. Gotcha.
We're unhappy about that.
I mean, that's just how do I say it? That's a old school wrestling trick to get heat. That's all it is. We've been hearing that. You know, American wrestlers have said that to the Japanese and the Mexican wrestlers for years. Oh, you want to come to my country and my company? Learn to speak English. You know, we've seen that in WWE. We've seen that line in WCW, TNA. Everybody tries to use that line. Every company uses that line. It's nothing new, but I guess I can see where people would get upset by it. As far as the match goes, though, this is a really good match. So Takeshita had the early advantage with the Blue Thunder Bomb, but Danielson countered into a headlock takeover. Danielson locked in a Romero special into a Dragon Sleeper, which Takeshita reversed into one of his own. There was a forearm and a chop battle that ensued until Takeshita got a running start into a Takeshita line. Danielson answered back with an underhook suplex into a label lock attempt, but Takeshita used his size to get to the rope break. And Danielson hit a charging corner drop kick, but on the third attempt, he was countered with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2. There's chops from Takeshita that rang out as Danielson moonsaulted out of the corner with a flying clothesline. Danielson hit a dive onto the floor, but the two battled up the ropes as Takeshita hit a massive lariat off the top and turned Danielson inside out for a 2 count. Danielson countered a powerbomb attempt into a Hurricane Rana that took Takeshita outside of the ring, where Danielson charged off the apron and landed kind of awkwardly on the railing, but also knocked down Takeshita at the same time. Danielson then limped getting up, threw a kick, but Takeshita blocked it into a brainbuster on the floor. Takeshita tried a Senton Atomico off the ropes, but Danielson got his knees up and locked into a label lock. But again, Takeshita got to the ropes to break it. Danielson then fired back with some kicks, but Takeshita blocked the home run shot, which I've said it before, every single week. He goes for that home run shot, and they block it. Every week. It's like, come on. It's kind of obvious that's what's going to happen nowadays. There was a violent forearm and a discus lariat that turned Danielson inside out as Takeshita missed the charging knee, and Danielson got the anvil elbows. Takeshita battled back by dropping Danielson on his head into a wheelbarrow German for a close near fall. Takeshita then tried another, but Danielson landed on his feet this time, hit a Busaku knee, and only got a 2 off of it. The crowd is fired up at this point as Danielson stomps down with some boots and then goes for the regal stretch, and Takeshita's just passed out, knocked out of it. They declare Danielson's the winner. Thoughts?
It's a good match. I mean, I think eventually, a few weeks, we're probably going to see MJF like bring out some of his own guys to like beat
I know
in like singles matches.
next week Danielson will face Bandito. So, again, we still got 7 weeks. And the whole you got to win all the way to February 8th is the thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4 more matches.
I feel like I wonder who. I know in a lot of MJF storylines, MJF like one guy who's not really like signed to the company, like fight somebody. I wonder who that guy's gonna be.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm trying to think. Because for some reason, I was thinking maybe they bring in Jonathan Gresham because it would be a good matchup for Danielson, but he signed to Impact, so that I don't think can happen. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
Honestly, I don't think Gresham wants to come back to AEW.
Probably not. Juice Robinson would make a little bit of sense, but he's probably going to lose to Darby on Dynamite, so I don't think that happens. I don't think they're going to have him lose and then be like one of the guys that's got to face Danielson. So, honestly, I have no clue.
I think cool would be Richards.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Ones would probably be Brian Cage and Lance Archer if you want to bring in some like bigger guys.
Right.
Danielson.
That would make sense. Hot Rub Bubba says, do you guys watch Scooby-Doo? Well, I've seen plenty of the cartoons. I've seen all of the movies with Freddie Prinze and Matthew Lillard in them. But yeah, I mean, I watch some Scooby-Doo. My kids watch it sometimes. The newer stuff.
I saw the one where up with WWE.
No, I've seen all the WWE Scooby-Doo movies, yeah. I think there's 2 WWE Scooby-Doo movies.
Real life ones.
Renee Paquette's backstage with Juice Robinson. Didn't expect this one. He said he's here in AEW to kick ass, take names, and win belts. Speaking of winning belts, he challenges Darby Allin to a TNT title match this week on Rampage. The match was later on made official. Ooh, the Gravedigger has a good one. Miro against Danielson. That would be a
Would
good
be
one.
cool, but really have Miro lose like in his return.
Ain't doing anything else with them.
I mean, though, because he didn't agree to like the original plans that AEW had planned for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're doing with
Yeah, I
Miro.
don't know.
So as far as that goes, again, that match has been made official for this week's Rampage. So then we had Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker against Saraya and Toni Storm. They hyped this up as there was going to be some big surprise or there was going to be something major happening. And then for some reason, Saraya was on Twitch this morning as she was getting her makeup done at her house. Remember, she lives in LA, so she was at home before the show. And she just offhandedly goes, Britt gave me 2 tickets for the show tonight, and I think I know what I'm going to do with those. And nothing came of it. I don't know if she was speaking offhand during her Twitch stream. I don't know if that was supposed to be something planned for the show and something got canceled. I don't know. But nothing really happened here other than Shida accidentally helped the heels cheat to win. Other than that, it's just a nothing happening match. And Toni Storm looked like she didn't want to be even out there. Like, Toni Storm looked like, I don't give a shit about this match. It's my job, so I'm going to do the match, and then I'm going to go. Like, she did not look like she wanted to be out there at all. I don't know if that was storyline-wise. I don't know if that was real life. I know Excalibur mentioned, Toni Storm, she's got beef with Jamie Hayter, and she's got a stone-cold look on her face right now. But it was more than just being, to me at least, and maybe I'm overlooking things, to me, it was more than her being focused on Jamie Hayter. It felt like she was kind of pissed off at something and didn't want to be out there.
Match was honestly kind of a letdown, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people were pissed off. No Mercedes. Who the heck cares?
I mean,
Seriously.
I don't. That was just meh. Whatever. Why is this not working? There we go. As far as the match does go, Jamie Hayter, of course, got a big reaction. And she started off the match with Toni Storm. Hayter was sent to the outside, and Saraya hit a tumbleweed off the apron. Back inside the ring, Saraya took the fight to Hayter, screaming that it was her house. Hayter blocked a double suplex attempt from Saraya and Storm, and then hit them both with one of her own. Storm was sent to the apron, where Baker laid her out with a spinning neck breaker off the edge of the ring. Hayter and Baker took turns slamming Storm and Saraya into the guardrails as Hikaru Shida would walk to ringside with the kendo stick. Storm was then isolated throughout the commercial break on the heel side of things until Saraya made the hot tag and ran wild. She hit Baker with a forearm and the former page turner that they now call the nightcap. Baker tried to go for an air raid crash, but Saraya countered into a knee to the face. Storm then hit a sweet chin music on Baker, locked on a clover leaf, but then Hayter booted her to break the hold. Baker then hit an avalanche raid crash, but Storm somehow kicked out. There was a ripcord double forearm from Baker and Hayter that led to a Hayter breaker, but Saraya barely broke up the cover. Storm then fought back with a German suplex and a Storm Zero, but Baker broke up the pin here. The match then broke down as Baker dropped Saraya with a spinning butterfly suplex, and Storm and Hayter had a long slugfest. Rebel then distracted the referee as Shida threw her kendo stick into the ring as I think it was Storm and Britt laying on the mat. Baker would then get up quicker than Storm, grab the kendo stick, and smack Toni Storm over the back with it. This then allowed Hayter to hit the Haterade, pin Toni Storm, and pick up the victory. After the match, Shida's just like, oh, what happened? Oh my God, what? Huh? What happened? Oh my, like, really? This is kind of lame if I'm going to say so myself. Like, Saraya and Toni Storm lose. So they already beat Saraya. I mean, Saraya didn't take the pin, but they already beat Saraya. But the whole Sheeta being shocked by what happened, like, what was she trying to do? Give the kendo stick to Tony after she was supposed to be mad at them from last week? None of this made sense. And then, what about Saraya's 2 tickets? I honestly feel like that was something she shouldn't have said and wasn't supposed to say.
So you thought Hikaru Shida was gonna like turn on Saraya and Tony Storm,
Same here.
like when this came out. Because if you didn't see her reaction to like not being picked, like she's gonna turn on either Saraya or Tony.
Right.
Like,
as we move forward, out came the Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't know about you. I didn't like any of this. And honestly, it got even worse when Ricky Starks and Action Andretti came out, to be honest. So JAS came out, matching gold jackets. Jericho said that he's had a big week, including showing up at the PWG Battle of Los Angeles. Jericho mentioned Ty and Anna winning their street fight on Friday, sending Action Andretti, or saying that they will win their street fight on Friday, sending Action Andretti back to the minor leagues and ending Ricky Starks' little experiment. Then, out would come Ricky Starks and Action Andretti as they interrupted the JAS. They stood up on the stage, and Starks said that they're standing, while the JAS compared Andretti to Little Orphan Oliver. Andretti told him to shut up, or he'll shove him, or shove his baseball bat up his ass. Andretti said Guevara can't control his wife, even her hands, which were between his legs last week. Starks told Jericho to move so he can talk to Gilligan in that hat, referring to Jake Hager. He called him the village idiot who still has his dumb lisp. Hager said that he'll slap Starks' face off, seemingly quoting Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Starks then said that he'll show Hager next week who really is absolute. I didn't like this at all. It didn't get me hyped up for anything, and we do know that next week it's Ricky Starks versus Jake Hager. Couldn't care less.
honestly couldn't understand what Ty Mel was even saying when she had the mic.
True. That's why I didn't even recap what she
Jericho
said.
Jericho had to like just like say something to like yeah, Street Fighter.
Yeah. But, I mean, cool. It's a match. But you would think if Ricky Starks is feuding with the JAS, shouldn't have Jericho been like the last match, not the first match?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, who else is he going to face? He's facing Hager next week. So what? Sammy the following? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I know we have a lot of time till Revolution. I'd say maybe they can find like one more person to like add with Ricky, and it's like Ricky, Action, one other person against 3 members of the JAS.
That wouldn't be bad. I actually like that idea.
What like Daddy Magic's like promo? I thought that was just super weird.
Oh, yeah. He was just rambling to ramble. So then we had our main event. This match was insane. I thought Kenny Omega killed himself once or twice, especially that spot with the table and then the freaking Falcon Arrow he took on the floor. I'm like, oh my God, this match was nuts. And Omega was wearing his IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship that he won against Will Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom, and they referenced it. Kudos on them. One thing I didn't really like is they made it seem like Omega just had that match. Because they were like, yeah, Omega, he's jet lagged from his 17-hour flight from Japan. And I'm like, he was in Japan a week ago. How long did he actually stay in Japan? He didn't stay in Japan for almost a week. He didn't come back just yesterday. So that was kind of like, don't play dumb with us kind of thing. But other than that, I loved this. This match was great. This match was awesome. Excalibur told us that only one of the 3 titles need to actually be pulled down for a winner to be named, I guess you could say. So it doesn't have to, like, you don't got to grab all the belts. Like, usually you see where they got to grab, like, everything off the hook. But nope, all you got to do is grab one belt. The match started off super quick. with some dueling backstabbers by Penta and Matt. Pac and Penta hit a slingshot cutter while Phoenix hit a top rope frog splash on Matt. Phoenix cleared a ladder and held by Penta and Pac and took out Omega with a dive, as Nick answered with a drop kick onto the ladder. Matt set up a ladder in the ring and wiped out Penta with a running destroyer. This move was smoother than hell. Like, holy crap, was this destroyer just picture perfect. You can't do a destroyer. There's no way to do a Canadian destroyer better than the way Matt Jackson and Penta did one here tonight. Phoenix cut off Matt on the ladder with a springboard arm drag, and Omega laid out the Lucha Bros with Snapdragon suplexes. Pac then originally cut off Omega, who answered back with another Snapdragon suplex. He then looked to go for the Terminator dive, but Pac moved out of the way, and Omega crashed through a table at ringside. Then, immediately, the camera cuts, and Matt Jackson jumps off the top rope to the floor, onto Pac, through a table, go to commercial break. Pace then slows down a little bit as, well, much as the pace really can. Penta and Matt had a tug-of-war with a ladder at one point until Penta got trapped in the corner. Nick hit a top rope springboard dive on Phoenix. Penta tried to take out Matt, who hit a backdrop onto the setup ladder. There was a brutal spot where Phoenix cut off Nick from doing a springboard and hit a top rope Hurricane Rana, dropping Nick's hamstring right on top of one of the ladders. Omega tried to grab a ladder, but Pac stomped at his fingers and caught him in between. Omega then nearly caught Pac in a one-winged angel spot, but Pac countered into a poison Rana. There was a fear factor that took out Omega at one point as Phoenix hit a spinning dive onto Nick on the outside. The Bucks then dished out super kicks to both Penta and Pac as Phoenix flew in out of nowhere, but Matt hit the locomotion Northern Lights suplexes, and the last one did land on a ladder. Penta was set up on a table on the outside, and Nick jumped from the top rope to the floor with the picture-perfect 450 splash through said table. Matt then went for the titles, but Alex Abrahantes would push the ladder over, knocking over Matt Jackson, as Brandon Cutler would then spray him with the cold spray, and Omega would hit Abrahantes with the V-trigger knee. As Omega went to climb the ladder, Pac would use a hammer to smack the hand of Omega against the ladder, and then he hit a Falcon Arrow on the... so he hits the hammer on the hand. They fall out of the ring eventually. He then looks like he's going to send Omega through this table, but instead just hits a Falcon Arrow that looks like it hurt so bad because the thud sound that Omega's back made when he hit the mat, holy crap, that did not sound fun. Pac then jumped back.
He got up that quickly.
Yeah. Right? So Pac made it back into the ring and started to climb before Matt Jackson stopped him. The Lucha Bros then set up another ladder with a bridge from the ladder to the middle rope. And Penta climbed up and delivered a fear factor on the bridge to Matt Jackson. Phoenix then climbed up to try to grab the belts, but Omega would stop him. The two would battle for a second before, for some reason, well, we know what the reason was, to hit the spot. But Phoenix climbs to the other side of the ladder where Omega is. Omega throws him up on his shoulders. One-winged angel off the ladder bridge. Omega's then, this was a little bit weird. There's two spots here that were a little weird. Omega hits the one-winged angel. Phoenix rolls out of the ring. And then Omega's like a turtle on his back. He's going, Pat climbs to the top rope, goes for the black arrow. As he goes for it, Omega gets his knees up. Pac's gone. Omega then pulls the ladder bridge down, climbs up the ladder. And as Omega's climbing the ladder, trying to grab the belt because he can't unhook it at first, weirdly, Pac and Phoenix are laying on the mat at the bottom of the ladder just going, I'm like, at least like make it look like you're knocked out or trying to get up, but don't just make us look like, oh, we're trying, but we can't do it. It was a little awkward, but Omega just pulled down the middle belt and wins the match for the Elite. Huge pop from the crowd in Los Angeles. Nick Jackson then climbs up the ladder with Kenny. He asks Kenny, you can see him mouth, are you okay? Kenny then says, yeah, but he's holding his rib and breathing very hard. Matt Jackson kind of climbs up the ladder as well, and they all pose as the show goes off the air. As far as, well, what did you think of the match? And then we'll talk about Rampage and Dynamite for next week.
Match was like freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Like I really did. What else I was gonna say though?
Mhm.
Did
But match was great. Wasn't better than Omega Ospreay, but this match was still really, really, really good. So as far as Rampage does go, we do know that the Kings of Blackthorn, Malachi Black and Brody King, which is weird, they got a new name, will be taking on Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale will face Anna JAS and Ty Mello in a street fight. The Acclaimed will get their stars on the Walk of Fame. We will hear from Golden Globe winner Paul Walter Hauser, and the TNT title will be on the line when Darby Allin defends against Juice Robinson. As far as next week's AEW Dynamite does go, Bryan Danielson will be taking on Bandito as Jake Hager takes on Ricky Starks. So yeah, I don't know why they're not called the House of Black anymore. They're the Kings of the Blackthorn. That kind of just came out of nowhere.
I think that's the name for Malachi Black and Brody King. I think when they're all three of them together, I think they're House of Black. But like
Gotcha.
when it's just like Malachi Black and Brody King, they're Kings of the Black Throne.
Okay. And it's Throne, not Thorn. My bad. I kept saying Throne. But that makes a little sense, I guess. But with that, that's what we thought of AEW Dynamite. Now I want to know what you guys thought of the show. Remember, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. Before we get into all that, we got to check the polls. Let's refresh these polls really quick. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 50% liked the show, 25% thought it was just all right, and 25% didn't like Dynamite. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 56% liked the show, 30% thought it was just all right, and 13% didn't like it. And finally, the YouTube poll. 68% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 12% did not like it. Some of the comments here, this person says, this was a great show. Very happy for Adam Cole. This person says, we are blessed. All hail Hater. Another one, Adam Cole, baby. Another one, welcome back, Adam Cole. A lot of people happy to see Adam Cole. This person said it was all right. Could have been better. Lots of botches. I really didn't see any botches. I don't know about that. That's probably just someone just wanting to talk shit. As far as, let's see, the text messages do go. It says, what are your thoughts on the Elite becoming AEW World Trios champions? I really don't have any thoughts because they never lost their belts. So it's basically just going right back to where they were before the whole Punk incident. So I really have no thought on, okay, they got the belts back. We knew they were going to get the belts back. It was inevitable.
Especially it was a hometown win. That's where like we knew they were gonna win the belts tonight. Because AEW, they love those hometown wins.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like their next challengers.
House of Black.
Black, unless probably them.
This question I can't answer. This person says, what is Succession and why are people comparing it to Vince McMahon? I've never seen the show. I think it's a Showtime show, but I've never seen it, so I can't answer the question. Have you ever seen Succession?
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. People tell me it's good, but it's like 4 seasons long. It's on, it's an HBO show. Okay, it's an HBO show. But other than that, I didn't even know what channel it was. I thought it was a Showtime show. But other than that, I really don't know what the show is. So I know it's got Adrian Brody in it because a lot of times when I see like promotional images for the show, it's got Adrian Brody. So that's all I know.
What's the show even about?
A wealthy family. Guess is good. I just know that people keep saying that it's about a wealthy family that only cares about themselves, like Vince McMahon. So honestly, I have no idea. Let's see. What is the Google synopsis on what the show actually is? Let's see. Here, we'll go to IMDb and see what IMDb says. So the show's got like 4 seasons. It says, the Roy family is known for controlling the biggest media and entertainment company in the world. However, their world changes when their father steps down from the company. Okay. Cool. I've heard it's good. I've just never watched it myself. This person says, is Sheeta turning heel because she wore red and Jamie and Britt also wore red? No. I don't think that means anything. Sheeta always wears red. Am I wrong? Sheeta's always got red gear or red clothes on.
Oh yeah, always. And I don't know if her like wearing red is really her turning heel. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's to do anything.
I mean,
I feel like there's a good chance she turns heel.
yeah. I mean, Toni Storm's usually in red, so that really doesn't mean anything. Like tonight she wore black and white, I think, if I'm thinking correctly. But Toni Storm usually wears red as well.
For black and white, and she normally wears like red and black.
Right. Yeah, because I'm looking at like a poster hyping up the match for tonight, and she's got black and white with red letters of storm going down both sides of her. Yeah, red letters of storm going down both sides of her tights. Red and black gloves, and then on her top, it's got red stitching. So yeah, she wears red too. Means nothing. And this last text message here says, I don't know what this means. Where has Andrew Yang been when he said he go after Vince if Biden gets I don't know. I didn't really, I know Andrew Yang's a politician that wanted to try to go after Vince McMahon as far as the classification of a independent contractor, but seems like that guy was all talk, no bite. But with that, any closing thoughts on Dynamite?
I thought pretty good matches. It was a pretty inconsistent show. It's like one part was good, the next part was just meh.
Yeah.
Good. Like the first match was good, and the last match was amazing. A solid job announcing 2 things for Dynamite for next week, so that's good.
Well, they said more will be announced on Rampage like always. I think they're trying to do the whole watch Rampage to learn about next week's Dynamite kind of thing again, because like they did that early on, and then they kind of got away from that, and now they're trying to do that again. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. We will be back live Friday morning for the wrestling wrap-up, and then Friday evening for Friday Night SmackDown. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.